What am I into then, Rob? Our manager.
What are you into? You're into gay disco.
When you're in a group and you're on tour and strutting on stage and making a fool out of yourself, and when you come back, you don't want to go out and go and see a group. I should think that would have been patently obvious. So don't come to this cynical bit with me.
He doesn't listen to music. Oh, pile of crap.
We do write good songs. I mean, we're joking now, but we're not joking all the time, you know.
I think if kids do think we're heroes, I think they think we're heroes musically as opposed to personality-wise, because we've never really pushed our personalities.
Good job.
Yeah. Now you can see why.
How does it feel to treat me like you do when you laid your hands on me?
When I was in Germany last week, I was doing some interviews, and they were saying that how, as a successful band, could we still live in an impoverished, downtrodden place like Manchester?
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
I'll tell you what, we're going to explode quite a few myths here.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is one aspect of that I like about Manchester is that people don't know what's happening.
No, they don't.
It's very important, commercially, industrially. I mean, something like this, Granada World, how much is a thing like this going to cost?
Oh, it's a multi-million-pound operation. And what it's going to do is take everybody through the world of television and films. So you're going to see how programmes are made, all the special effects.
But I mean, the interesting thing about it is that, like you were saying before, there's nowhere like this outside of America.
No, there isn't.
Now, why does this happen in Manchester, and yet we've still got this image of being the working class place of the north?
I don't know. Well, of course, very go-ahead in the north and very go-ahead in Manchester. You look at the tourist industry and all the hotels and everything. It's massive,
yeah, I mean,
great motorway network. And we're very friendly.
Yeah. To say the least. I mean, like, we've come a long way. Maybe we should tell them this, that we've come a long way together.
Oh, yeah.
Because you used to run Strawberry Studios and you gave us our break.
I did, long that time ago.
As professional recording artists at Strawberry Studios with Unknown Pleasures. Yeah.
That's right.
And yet now we've both done very well.
Yeah,
which is
yes.
good. And it's like, people don't understand why we stay here.
We love it. I wouldn't move anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the fact that your family's here, but
precisely,
it still fulfills everything that we need.
Yeah.
Being outside of the music business is a choice that we made a long time ago by just making it ourselves independently or whatever. With Factory, Joy Division, New Order, and luckily we were successful musically. You know, I mean, as long as you've got the music to back it up, basically you can do what you like. If your music's no good, we wouldn't have been able to achieve what we have achieved anyway. But I mean, the thing is that I live in Manchester, it's my home, it's our home, and I just don't feel any need to go anywhere else. And I just think that's a pile of crap, that you have to move to London and all that, it's rubbish.
I prefer to think that the reason why we've become successful is that our music's palatable and you can play it loads and loads of times and not get bored with it. I'm not very keyed up on the business side of things or promotional side of things. I'm quite unaware of that side of it.
I mean, the Hacienda was another experiment for us, an independent experiment because we did it ourselves. And even though, I mean, I know it's been quite a rocky path, but Again, Rob was right, it did work out. So it's been good because it has worked out. And I think that the Hacienda has been very valuable to Manchester.
I was born in Salford, which is just in a northerly direction from here. It's a bit of a dump. It's more of a dump now that they've knocked down the old houses. I used to live in a sort of Coronation Street type house, and it was great.
I mean, in those days, you could release a record yourself and press up 3,000, and they did sell quite well. And because we were playing as well, and we got ourselves a live reputation, we thought that we could do it, and so we just went. I mean, we never envisaged that it'd be as popular as it has been. But I mean, to me, it's been worthwhile because basically we're the only punk group left, I feel. All the rest of them are just sold out.
I do live out of Manchester at the moment. I live on a farm at the moment, but I like going out and going to the cinema and going out to a club occasionally and having a few drinks. So I'd rather live inside the city, I think. And I think Manchester is the second best dump to London. It's not as much as a dump as Liverpool, not as much as a dump as Birmingham. But it's like the second city, I always think it has. Since the late 70s, which is like a real depressive slump in Manchester, I think a lot of money's come into Manchester. And the whole city's building up now, you know. We've got neon signs now. Property value's going up, I know that, because I'm just looking for a house. And there's a lot of rich people here now. There's a lot of southern bastards moving up to Manchester and buying all the houses up.
Well, I mean, I think your perception changes as you get older, as you get richer, as you get poorer, whatever. But I mean, the thing is that I think we've got class, and I think that a lot of other bands haven't, and that's our major forte.
I couldn't look at you. I guess you knew it, but I never realized that we were through. And now I'm down and all alone with every feeling that I own. You can't take that away. And with every breath we take and the illusions we create will come to you someday. Things in this world I wanted to, because everything I own, it belongs to you. I've never looked at you in a sexual way in my life before, and I've never woken up like this so desperately before. And I was by the hand of God,
One of the problems in life is you've got to be called something, and New Order was the best we could come up with in the limited space of time that we had to decide what to call ourselves. Could have been the Witch Doctors of Zimbabwe, but there you go. It could have been Sherlock Holmes even.
I used to live in Manchester when I was about 3.
You were born here?
I was born here, yeah. And when I was a teenager, I used to come and see bands here and go out. And I used to think the place where we live now is absolutely awful, and I couldn't wait to live in Manchester. But as I've got older, I'd rather live outside, I think. I prefer the countryside.
There's a farm sort of just a bit up the road, you know, there's fields and things like that. You know, you tend to expect in the countryside, but I like it like that. You know, a bit of grass, a few cows.
Well, Barney used to have a motorbike.
Yes. I think Peter's more the scrambling. I think it...
Yeah, I used to be into scrambling first, and then it sort of grew from there, I think.
Well, it sort of got a bit small because he was scrambling Range Rovers originally, but they're a bit expensive. Now he's got his own little scrambling bike. Now we're approaching Salford, which is where Peter and Bernard, I don't know. Born and bred Salford lads. Home of the Salford Jets, I suppose. It's just down this road.
Used to be rows and rows of streets, but it was quite good because it was like little street communities.
Like Coronation Street, really.
And the road where we lived, they were like 2 up and 2 down, and then they used to have on the other side of the road prefabs, which were like prefabricated buildings during the war. Recently, my mum and dad took me round Moss Side in Old Trafford and said, "Oh, that's where you was born," and all this like that. And it's completely different. I don't recognise anything.
It's a dirty dirt bike.
Do you use it for racing or?
No, I don't have the time these days, unfortunately. Much as I'd like to. Well, I'm not sure I'd stand up to a race at my age. I'm sure that would be embarrassing. Well, this is Salford Docks. This is where I used to work. I used to work in that building over there.
What were you doing?
I was in the conveyancing department. I used to look after all the land at Ship Canal. This is all Ship Canal land, which is what's interesting about Granada World. That's Ship Canal land as well. So the whole thing stemmed from me, see? I mean, like the transformation of this area from where it's been so down market to something that they obviously try to make up market. It's like a real strange thing, and I think they are actually going to be successful with it as well. They're going to make this dock area up market, and I think that just water and pools and things like that has that effect. In fact, over there used to be one of Manchester's least known punk clubs.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Even me. Just be free. This is a place where in the end it happens without
I remember when it first opened. Seems like 5 minutes ago.
When was that?
About 5 years ago, I know that.
I've always wanted to open a club, and I thought it was a very good idea, so I interested everyone else in it, and it's my idea, basically.
We used to be open 7 nights a week at the Hacienda, but of course that was a bit too much, so we only have Wednesdays, Thursdays, Friday and Saturday at the moment.
Originally, the Hacienda started off as only partly a discotheque and partly mainly a venue, whereas the venue side hasn't worked that well. It's just more or less complete club now.
you never see.
We just didn't know anything about music business, and now how successful we could possibly be and how to manipulate the press. And I mean, for instance, I used to think groups did interviews because they like doing it, but they don't, they do it to sell records.
Well, they've always stuck to not actually having a contract with bands, so that bands are free to sign with any label they want to, really. And they've never really promoted the singles because believed in self-promotion, really. So, and usually what happened, in fact, in the early days, word used to spread around by mouth, and I think they'd like to keep to that policy. If the record's good, people like talk about it and just buy it, hopefully.
I think we're very democratic. We always have been. Almost communist, almost. I think we run our business and the group on very socialist terms, but we never thought of it in a political way. We just seemed fair to do things that way.
We tend to tour when we want to, bring out albums when we want to, and make singles when we want to, which is great for us. But it wouldn't be so great if you signed to a record label, because they wouldn't let you have that much control.
If you listen to our just released LP, Substance, New Order, and we're about to release Substance, Joy Division, you can hear the transition, the way we've progressed. And I don't think we ever hark back, you know, to any particular era. We just did our own thing. Doing it for the money, believe it or not. No one does believe it, but we weren't. It was just fun. We never, I don't know, didn't even think about being successful. It was just better than doing your job.